Good morning. It's July 1st, and we are in First Kings chapter 19 today. And this is the story of Hezekiah, which is told several times in Scripture. It's told in Isaiah as well, also in First and Second Chronicles, I believe. But not only that, it's told by the Assyrians as well in some documents that they left behind, inscriptions that they left behind. And so it's a well-attested story in Scripture here. And what's happening here is the northern kingdom has been destroyed by Assyria, and they're not content with that. They also want to destroy the southern kingdom. And so they go in and take over all but Jerusalem, basically. And as they're at Lachish, which is the last big fortified city to the south, guarding the way up into Jerusalem, they destroy it, and then they send their messengers up to Jerusalem. And Hezekiah has some decisions to make. He has been a vassal for Assyria for some time, has been paying them tribute so that they will not destroy him, but he has rebelled against them, and so they have come to attack him, and he says, well, let me pay some more, strips off the gold from the temple, all that you're reading about today, and sends it to them in the hopes that they're not going to invade, but they do anyway, and they set up a siege around the city, and Hezekiah is now desperate and calls out to the Lord asking for help. And this is what he says in verse 17. It is true, Lord, that the Assyrian kings have laid waste these nations and their lands. They have thrown their gods into the fire and destroyed them, for they were not gods, but only wood and stone fashioned by human hands. Now, Lord our God, deliver us from this hand, that so that all the kingdoms of the earth may know that you alone, Lord, are God. And so he appeals to God as the one true God, and says your reputation is at stake here. All the nations are going to look and see what you do or don't do at this point. And so he lays it at his feet, and Isaiah comes and he gives a prophecy and talks about Hezekiah's being spared from this siege this particular time. The word of the Lord has come and granted his wish and his prayer to be saved from the Assyrians. And we also know from the Assyrian archives and inscriptions that they weren't able to capture Jerusalem. It says that that they had Hezekiah trapped like a bird in a cage, but they weren't able to take over and destroy the capital city of Jerusalem, which was their ultimate objective. So history bears this out well. It's a place I love to go in Israel too. Unfortunately, they haven't put up a visitor center. Well, they have put up a visitor center, but they haven't opened it yet. So someday maybe it will be a place that many believers get to go and see what God did in sparing Hezekiah and the southern kingdom of Judah at this critical point in history.